the journey to the next level is not going to be easy. I'm telling you, it's not going to be easy. Okay? And I'm going to tell you 3 things. I'm going to tell you some bad things, some good things, and some great things. I promise you I'll end on the great things. Okay? I'm going to end on the great things, but this is what I want you guys to do. Take this emotion you have right now, and every time any of these bad things I'm about to talk about, these things that could potentially go on in the next couple months, next couple years as you transition in your life, I want you guys to remember this feeling. Because it's the feeling of accomplishment that motivates you in downtrodden times to keep on moving. And it might be another 6 months to a year before you reach the next level, the next accomplishment. Ginger said she's going to school. At least another 2 years before you get a chance to feel this, right? There's going to be a whole lot that's going to go on between now and the next 2 years. I can tell you that. So how are you going to get back here 2 years from now in a different environment? By remembering how good this feels. Moments like this fuel you to stay motivated in the midst of bad moments. So don't lose sight of this. Now, why do I tell you there's some bad things that may go on? There's bad news out there. How many of you guys have had any type of, and I'm not just talking to the students, I'm talking to the person that's as far left as I can't see you, and as far right as I can't see you. How many of you in this room have gone through trials and tribulations? Raise your hand if you've gone through some trials and tribulations. I know I've gone through some trials and tribulations. I went through some yesterday on The Walking Dead. It happens. Okay? I mean, life comes at you. But see, here's the thing. What hurts the most are things you don't see coming. Those are the things that hurt the most. For those of you that are fight fans, I'm a big martial artist and fight fan, and the reality is that one of the things I hear all commentators say is the punch that hurts is which punch? The one you don't see coming. The one you don't, and if you didn't know that, no one knows. So, if I can prepare you for some of the bad things that are going to happen, they won't be bad, because you'll be ready for them. So since you'll be ready for them, you'll be able to move past them because you're equipped. You won't be surprised. You won't get caught off guard. So there are a couple things if we get ready to graduate to the next level that you all need to be paying keen attention to, because these are things that are going to happen. Number 1 is frustration. Anybody ever been frustrated? All the time? Well, guess what? Don't think just when you graduate this will stop. Okay? And I want to make sure that you don't think that this accomplishment means that from now on I made it and there's no more frustrations. Oh, there are more frustrations to come. There's going to be more aggravating times to come. It's going to happen. So guess what? Prepare yourself for it. So when it happens, you say, you know what? Tim McAdams told me I was going to be frustrated right now, but he also told me it's okay. It's part of the course. It's just a piece of the puzzle to where I have to go and where I'm going to be. I'm going to tell you another thing you're going to deal with as you get ready to go to the next level. I forgot to ask you. Is there anybody interested in going to the next level? Oh, okay. All right, good. Okay, we got some mention. I just want to make sure because maybe my whole messed up. Alright, so we're all interested in going to the next level. Guess what's going to happen on your way from here to the next level? You're going to fail. You're going to fail. See, people don't like when I use the word fail. I told you I don't know any other way but to be brutally honest with you. How many of you guys have ever tried something in your life and failed? And you still here, aren't you? So guess what? Failures are temporary. Unless you live it. Okay? Your mind is a very powerful thing. And the moment you realize that you're going to fail as many times as you're going to succeed, but your successes just have to outweigh those failures, then you're on the right track to success. Then you can go and grow and be whatever you want to be. Donald Trump said it best. He says, I have failed hundreds of times more than I've succeeded. The only difference is that my successes multiplied my failures to the point that my failures really don't matter. My failures don't mean anything. They don't mean anything. Because all it's doing is training me, coaching me, preparing me, making me better. So when it's time for me to be where I need to be, all those bad experiences I won't have to go through again because I learned from them as I was going through them. Know that failure's coming, guys. Failure's coming. You're going to set some successful goals and you might fall a little bit short of them. Don't worry about it. I'm telling you right now, be prepared for it. So when it happens, instead of getting damn, you ever been depressed? Yo, you look like I ain't never been depressed. We've all been depressed before. You know why we get depressed? Because something that we weren't expecting to happen happened. Well, expect that things may not go the way you want them all the time. If you do that, then guess what? You got a great chance of moving forward. I'll tell you another thing that you're going to have to really, really be ready for: sacrifice. Ginger, you've been doing a lot of sacrificing lately? A lot of sacrificing, haven't you? Sacrifice is par for the course. How many of you guys want to have an extraordinary extraordinary quality of life. Yes, we hear about that. How many of you guys want to have an extraordinary quality of living? You just want to live. You want to do it big all the time. And maybe not for you, but for the people you love, for the people you care about. But guess what? Before quality of living, before quality of life, comes sacrifice. Comes sacrifice. You're not going to be able to do the things you want to do all the time to get to the next level. You learned that while you were in school, didn't you? You're going to have to make sacrifices. You can't go out and do the things all the time the way you want to. But the bottom line is that if you know that sacrifice is a part of it, it's not painful. You say, you know what? This is just a piece of what I have to do to get to where I need to be. Yeah, I grew up in the streets of D.C. My buddies used to say to me all the time, Tim, why don't you want to go out? Why don't you want to party? You don't want to hit the club? I didn't always wear a shirt and tie and vest. I partied a little bit. Anybody here from D.C.? We got some DC people, so y'all know something about the go-go? Oh, we got some, okay, we know about the go-go, the rest of y'all, sorry. Okay, but the reality is that, yeah, I used to love to hang out, but at some point in my life, I had to sacrifice hanging out to live the quality of life that I really wanted to live. And I had to realize that doing what my friends were doing that wasn't going to take me to the next level made no sense. So since it made no sense, I had to sacrifice that. I got a 3-year-old, I run 3 companies. Sometimes I can't see my 3-year-old. But you know what that sacrifice is for? I want him to be able to be where you guys are. And the only way he's going to be where you guys are one day is Daddy's got to do his part. Daddy's got to do his job. So accept the fact that sacrifice is coming. And if you know that it's coming, then you won't treat it like a negative thing. I'll tell you another thing that's going to be required of you to get to the next level. You're going to have to change. You're going to have to change. And again, I'm not just talking to the students. I'm talking to everybody in this room. I'm going to tell you one thing that people do not like to do. Change. They do not like to change. They don't want to change. How many times you ever say something crazy to you like, that's just not who I am? I don't act that way. That's just not me. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the problem is that you won't change. You won't be different. I'm going to tell you, one of the definitions of change means to be bold. And in the natural process of growth, you've got to be bold. So this is what you're going to have to be open-minded to. The way you like to behave right now may not be the way that you're going to have to behave to get to the next level. The way you think right now may not be the way that you're going to have to think to get to the next level. Somebody's going to challenge the way you are as a person, and you're going to say, that's just who I am. But maybe that's not who you need to be. See, I listen to a wide variety of music, and one of my favorite artists in DC is Wale. And I'm not, okay, all right, we got some Wale fans in the room. And I'm not going to quote him because I don't remember the exact words of the song, but he said something along the lines of this. People said I was going to change, and I'm just proving them right. I was broke before, why be broke from here? You know, the reality is that in order to get from where you are to where you want to be, you can't do the same thing you did to get to where you are. Okay? Life doesn't change. We change. And then when we change, we force life to change. We control life. I'm going to tell you the last piece of bad news, and I got some really great news, and I'm going to sit down. Here's the last piece of bad news. You already know this. There are going to be some negative people that try to stop you from getting